everyone, welcome to 2024. So I hope you enjoyed watching the fireworks at the start of this video. That was what I was watching last night on the TV with three of my daughters. My other daughter and son were fast asleep, but nearly all of them were awake, and we watched that, and that is set in London. Now, I don't live in London myself, that's why I was watching it on the TV, but you can buy tickets to go and stand outside there for £20, which isn't bad, given the display that you get. I love watching it on the TV. I can't imagine how good it would be actually being there. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was the London Eye and Big Ben. But yeah, today I'm bringing you November and December's finished pages, and it's still not a lot. It's still not a lot to look at. I apologise, guys. My 2024 is going to consist of lots more content, but I have been really poorly and it came back with a vengeance. So yeah, I must have had this about going on 5 weeks now. It is horrific, this winter bug, whatever it is. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So some of these you might think, oh, I remember her doing that a while ago. That's because it was probably the beginning of November that I did some of these. So this one's Green Portraits Grayscale Colouring Book by Lena Green. And the one I did in here, if you've been following and remember it, was this one. I really do love these pages in this book. Really do love them. So this was a distress ink background that I put washi tape board around, so we got this nice crisp edge, and then I did the water effect, so I splashed on a bit of water and it gives this kind of little cauliflower effect here that goes on top of the distress ink. It was probably Polychromos pencils for this because I have used them a lot in November and December. I've not really used much else, to be honest, because I just love those pencils. So yeah, the sort of clothing I give this texture to, where I coloured it using hair strokes like I would when I'm doing the hair, just to get this really lovely texture as though the clothing's moving almost. And then a bit of white gel pen detailing in lots in her eyes, so her eyes look super sparkly. I really love this one, really love it, guys. I think last month I felt like I didn't colour much, and what I did colour was in Johanna Basford, so more whimsical, flowery kind of things. I think in January I'm going to do a couple of portraits again. They're gorgeous in here, absolutely gorgeous pages. I love it. It's a shame that she's took it off Amazon UK at the minute, this book. I think she was having problems with some of the paperwork you have to do to be able to sell abroad, but I'm lucky I got it when I did, because it's a really lovely book. And the spiral bound, I love spiral bound books for some reason as well. I just love them. So next up was a page in Colour 12-4. So this one I posted on my community tab at the time because I really messed up the background. I went in with a distress ink background. Let's find it. Here we go. I went in with a distress ink background, and at the moment that I was doing it, I kind of went over this flower with it, and then I went over some of the hair with it, and I thought, oh well, now I've accidentally gone over, I may as well just put it over all of it as a base and then work with it. But then I made it quite hard for myself, because what I did was I got rid of all the lines of the flower, so I couldn't actually see anymore the liner on the flower. So it's a good job that there's 2 illustrations of each page in this book, because I could go back and look. I don't know if I can find there. See, there's 2 of each, so I could go back to this page and see where the liner was and kind of copy it back in with my white gel pen. So I did rescue it in the end, but it's not a favourite page. It's really not a favourite page. And then I accidentally went over the bits that should have been left white on the reindeer, so it had like a white bit around the nose here and somewhere else, I can't remember. I think it might have been around the eye, and I got carried away with the pencils and got rid of that. It would have been nice with a bit of white around his nose, I think. But yeah, that is that one. We're just gonna write that one off as a bad go. I think I based this skin with alcohol marker as well. Yeah, see how it's come through on the back. So I based the skin with alcohol marker, then went over with the pencils But because I tried to layer and blend my alcohol markers first, something I don't normally do, but I was trying to think, come on, let's have a go, let's try and put our shadows in with the markers instead of pencils, and it didn't work out. So then I went back in with the pencils, but because I'd done that many of layers of alcohol marker first, the paper wasn't dry when I went over with the pencils, and then I started ripping the paper. So I think this is just one of those pages that just went from bad to worse, but yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But I do like these books for little sort of, you can get pages done a lot quicker than some of the bigger books. So next up was In Wildflower Fork, another very favourite book of mine by Christine Karen. Absolutely gorgeous book, gorgeous paper inside it. There's lots of illustrations, you can see how thick it is. You're getting lots for your money in this book. I think it is about £20, but it's worth it. It is worth it. So you might remember I did this one. I still can't talk properly. I feel like I'm all bunged up still. So this one I put a washi tape border around again, just so we could get that nice crisp edge again. Distress ink background again with the water effect background on there. And I think I put this up on the channel as a bit of a tutorial on the fur, I think it was. But yeah, again on this one, I feel like I got carried away with the browns. I felt like I wanted this to be more grey. So I did go in with greys at the start, but then I kind of got carried away with the browns and went over the greys with the browns a little bit. So if you've not done this page yet and you want to go and follow along with my tutorial, bear in mind, put more grey in than I did. Hold back on the browns a bit and put some more grey in. I really like the skin on this one. Really like the skin on this one, and the hair. I feel like the hair's got a really nice shine to it. I used blue undertone in that black hair. That's what I always do when I do black hair. I never put just straight black and greys on. There's always some blue in there. And then I love this little bit of snow that I've done on his nose. Super cute. And then the fur was really easy. It was some sort of ochre colour and a cream just blended together to make that sort of coloured fur. But yeah, love this. It's one of my favourite pages actually, that one. But there's beautiful, beautiful pages in here. Absolutely gorgeous. That was another. I'm a big fan of the edging on these distressing backgrounds at the minute. As you can tell, it just sets the page off nicely, I think. But again, I think I'll pick another page out of this book, because yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous book. I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's Wildflower Fork by Christine Karen. Next up we had Johanna Basford's Small Victories, and in this one I did both of these pages were full tutorials on the channel. So I do have a playlist running at the minute that's called Johanna Basford's Small Victories, and you will find any colour along from this book in that playlist, so do go and check that out. So this is a pocket size colouring book, really, really nice. And the first page that I did was the fruits. So each one of these fruits is a separate tutorial up on the channel, so you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours doing it all at once. You can if you want, but they're sort of in like 20-minute to 30-minute tutorial segments on this one. So we've got the oranges, blackberry, raspberry, watermelon and pineapple. Then we've got some cranberries, apple, cherries. I tried to create a water droplet effect on these cherries. I'm not overall happy with it, but it does, from some angles, or if you pull it back further, it does look like raindrops kind of. But I think sometimes if you look at it for a bit too long, it can look a bit like, what's that supposed to be? Or maybe that's just my own brain, I don't know. Gooseberries, strawberries, pear and pomegranate, lemons, grapes. I did these as tomatoes. I don't know if they were supposed to be or not, but tomatoes are a fruit. Papaya, persimmon was this one called, and eggplant or aubergine from wherever you are in the world. That was that one. And then we did this one. So this one was two separate tutorials. I did the snail in one sitting, and then I did this as a bee. You could do this as a bee or a butterfly, but I thought it would be quite nice to have it as a bee and do these sort of golden colours on the body. Really love doing this one. I love the colour palette that I chose. I really do. I love the colour of this snail here, this colour. I think it was Caput Mortem or Caput Mortem Violet. That sort of really nice colour that you get in the Polychromos set. And I love the earth green that I've put around the outsides as well. I just really love the colours on the sun shining through my window. But yeah, there's a close-up on them ones. So you can find these as a colour along on the channel if you're interested in that one. So I will be picking another page out of here for January as well to do another colour along. And I was thinking about the fish. The fish were really drawing my attention. Let me find them. I was thinking about the fish, but then I was thinking, yeah, it'd be quite nice, and you could colour each individual fish a bit differently, but same kind of colour palette. But then I thought, what can I do in the background? Because I feel like at the moment they just look like floating, I don't know, just like floating fish. I thought it'd be quite nice to do something in the background, but then I'm really not sure how I would tackle that background. I wouldn't do a distress ink background because it'd be really tricky to get in between each fish without getting the distress ink all over the fish. And then I thought maybe a little bit of a coloured pencil shadowing around each fish, which might be the easier option. Might do that. I don't know. I'm just really indecisive, but this page is drawing me in. I don't know why. It's drawing me in. Were they birds? There's some birdies there. Little birdies, but there's some really cute pages in this book. Really cute. If you've not already got it and you like Johanna Basford, I would recommend getting this one. I really would. So unfortunately, or fortunately, that's all the pages for November and December. I've been really poorly. Really poorly. I've got paint on my cardigan. I was painting last night in this cardigan. Didn't realise it was on there. I'll have to stick it in the wash. Yeah, but I've been really poorly. And I have done a few paintings as well. So I've been doing the Pantone paintings, as you know. This was from a while ago. This was the beginning of November. This should have been in November's completed pages video. So this would have been from right at the start of November. I remember this one being really fun to do. And it was one of those where it's like quite easy painting, I think. Because if you think about it, it is just a circle. And then you just blobbing on all this paint in different places, and you're creating kind of an effect rather than trying to be too detailed about everything. There was a little bit of detailing in on top with some of the lines that was trying to get in the right places from my reference picture, but the initial base of it all was just literally just blobbing the paint on. And then I didn't need to do a background on this card because it was already black. So the only thing I did in the background was splashed on some of the white gouache at the end. So that was our moon. So we'll pop that somewhere over there. Next one that I did was these strawberries covered in chocolate. And I was quite impressed with this one when I finished it. But then my 14-year-old daughter came in and she saw it on the desk and she went, "What's that?" And I went, "What do you mean, what's that? Can you not tell what it is?" She's like, "No," I said, "it's strawberries with chocolate dripped on." She's like, "Oh yeah." I said, "Oh, it must be rubbish if you don't know what it is." Very honest, my children. But no, I think she's just never had chocolate covered strawberries before. She just normally eats them on their own. I do, to be fair. I can't remember the last time I had chocolate on strawberries. No, I can't. But there we go. This was my attempt. But I get all my reference pictures off Pixabay. There is some images on Pixabay that are free to use, and there is some called iStock that you have to pay to use. So if you do go on Pixabay, just make sure you're choosing the free illustrations to use as a reference and not the I think it's called iStock ones. Don't quote me on that, but you'd have to have a little look. But yeah, I like this one. It's a bit of a neutral background. It's like a really pale pinky tone in the background on that one. So that was Strawberries. Next up, I did this only a few days ago really, and this one was for Christmas. So again, my reference was off Pixabay again, but I did change it up a little bit. So I've put some gingerbreads on this plate, and then I popped in a little bauble in the left hand corner. For some reason, I really struggled with what a bow looked like. I was trying to like image a bow in my head. I didn't print a reference picture off for the bow, and I was trying to imagine it in my head, and for some reason it just wasn't imagining the way a bow actually looks. And so I sort of free-handed this little thing, and it turned out looking atrocious, so I just blobbed on all the white blobs so it looked like the sparkle had continued from the bauble onto the bow, because I thought, I really got to hide this now. There's no way of rectifying it, I've just got to hide it. So that's what I did. Some of the icing work on here is a bit messy, but that's like my real life icing when I'm trying to decorate anything at home that I baked, because I'm not the neatest. But there, I think it's quite a cute one, and it's a nice coloured background on this one as well. This almost looks like snow, these little blobs of white, but it was supposed to be icing sugar. On the reference picture it did really look like icing sugar, but mine looks more like snow. If I lift it up closely, you can see where I've tried to get some darker bits in to look like the cracks in the gingerbread. I don't know if I pulled that off, but it's a bit of difference to it. And then just last night on New Year's Eve, I decided that I wanted to do fireworks. Let's put them out the way for now. So I did fireworks. Didn't have a clue where to start, so I was doing the usual, going onto YouTube and typing in how to paint fireworks, and then a really good video came up by Colour by Felix. I will link him in the description of this video. He does some really good tutorials. So I took some initial tips and the layout of some of this from his video, but he did a really lovely, it was a really bigger version of this. It was a landscape. He had a boat on here. He had, his firework display was a bit larger and spread out more, because obviously his was landscape, and it was gorgeous. So if you're looking for some painting tutorials, you want to get into it, you want some inspiration, you want someone who's going to talk you through each step clearly, precisely, in an easy way, go and check out his channel, because I've only just found him last night by typing in how to paint fireworks into YouTube, and honestly he explains everything so well. So go check him out, he's amazing. So that was the 4 paintings that I did right there. I do like my paintings. And oh, I've almost forgot, I did do another painting, but I did a larger scale painting on my Paul Rubens watercolour paper, and this one was for my brother-in-law for Christmas. So my sister and brother-in-law have 2 parrots. One of them is called Yoshi, who is mainly my sister's parrot, and I painted him about 6 months ago now, and she was saying, oh, you've got to paint the other parrot now, you've got to paint the other carrot and the other one, he's called Loki. So I painted this one for Christmas, and I'll just pop a little video of me doing it up there, and then there's a little picture of me holding it up against my Christmas tree there. But I I enjoy painting something that's on a larger scale, so using my watercolour paper, but I'm not a fan of doing feathers. If I want to learn anything in 2024, it will be how to do feathers a bit better. So I think I'm going to start by practicing on a smaller scale. So possibly in January, one of my Pantone cards is going to be something like a hummingbird. I think someone suggested I paint a hummingbird at one point. So I think I'll try and do that on a Pantone card on a smaller scale first and get better at feathers a little bit. But also I want to get better at portraits. I've never been good at faces, so I'm going to start with the back of the head, and I've thought about doing a Pantone card where it's sort of showing the neck and shoulders, the back of a girl, and then a hairstyle, so maybe like braids or bubble braids coming down so you see the back of a head rather than the front. And we'll start with that, and if I get any confidence from that I might try and do a face at some point, but I'm really bad at people and faces. But let's see what 2024 brings. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. I know it wasn't a lot of colouring, but like I say, I've been really poorly, and you'll know I've 5 kids at Christmas and it is hectic. We've had 2 birthdays as well. So we had Christmas on the 25th December, then my son turned 6 on the 27th of December, then my partner turned 40 on the 29th of December, and then my nephew's birthday is on the 6th of January. So there's no let up around here. So please hit that big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy 2024 everyone.